Greetings and salutations, all of you loathsome sinners. 'Tis I, Alastor, the radio demon, your steadfast hotelier, once again back in VR chat. And yes, today we'll be returning back to explore some other has-been hotel-related universes. Hopefully you'll enjoy yourselves. If this is your first venture into the Moonshadow Mystery Channel's content, welcome! A pleasure to be meeting you, quite the pleasure. Feel free to click the name above the video description below to see what other content we've created over the last 7 years before delving headstrong into this. Remember, if you enjoyed today's content, we would greatly appreciate you clicking the like button down below. We would also appreciate any commentary that you provide, so long as you be sure to mind your manners. That said, suggestions for future content, as well as ways to improve ourselves, is always welcome, as well as any critique that you may possess. We are well aware that we have some technical issues when it comes to the dialogue seeming to depart itself from the animation of my mouth. We're not entirely certain as to why, but then again, I don't deal with this frivolous modern technology. That said, let's get ourselves invested here. We'll start by doing a little world searching, shall we? First, we'll do the typical key phrase, has been hotel. Your last path to salvation starts here. Well, there don't appear to be very many individuals roaming around today. Perhaps it's the time of day it is. No, I don't believe I should stop in at the Overlord meeting room. An impromptu visit at such a locale is likely to encourage the wrath and the ire of some of my fellow overlords. So perhaps for now, we'll visit the original locale, the pilot realm, before we expand ourselves outward elsewhere. There are quite a few areas in which I have unfortunately forgotten that we visited the last time. Quite the shame, really. Oh, I do believe this was the one. We'll have to be sure to check it out. That said, there was a location in which we were looking for avatars that I didn't really get to fully explore. Perhaps we'll... You know what? Why don't we see if we can find that one first? Here it is. I'd be remiss if I didn't give it a proper look-see. Whilst I may have the occasional issue with the likes of Serpentius, there's no reason to be rude and outright ignore his area in this locale. Which unfortunately I did yesterday. Yesterday referring to when I recorded the last video, that is. Which for me, in fact, was yesterday. I know, it can be rather confusing. Now let us see here. I didn't notice this before. What does it mean by fly sticks? That did not appear to do anything to my knowledge. Here we are, Sir Pinch's ship. I suppose it's only fair to give it a proper look, given he paid the ultimate price, who preserved the safety and sanctity of the hotel against the likes of Adam and the rest of the extermination squad. For a serpent, he certainly has the most unusual staircase. I realize these are probably for the egg boys, but rather cumbersome. Well, if nothing else, I'll grant him this. Quite stylistic. Sincerest apologies. I wasn't anticipating an impromptu interruption. I must say, I do appreciate Sir Pinchas's more simplistic manner of control. Far more appreciated than some of the seemingly overly complex controls that are involved in a lot of today's frivolous technology. Now, where did it place us at? I wonder, does the hotel itself have an interior? I see quite a few floors that appear to be visible. Ah, yes, see, I did not notice this before. Perhaps I didn't come in. Oh, I did. I believe I may have misinterpreted this as being the mirror. I certainly have no one but myself to blame on that. Yes, I can see that it is indeed under construction. That does give it quite the charm. Tombstones upon the balcony. I find that rather bemusing. Let us see what this floor has in store. Ah, yes, the veranda. I do so enjoy sitting out here, whereas I can enjoy a nice cup of coffee. Although being from Louisiana, it's typically espresso, but I don't really enjoy the sweet things very often. I'm more into the bitter. But what sort of Louisianan would I be if I didn't partake in beignets? Why, that would be sinful even for a hell spawn. Though technically I'm not a hell spawn, those would be the hellborn. Rather narrow hallways. Only 2 rooms upon this floor. Quite surprising. But I must say that it is a charming view. Pity there was no access to my room. I was looking to get behind the broadcast table once again. Perhaps we can explore more. I've not hardly even tackled even a mere third of this locale. Realistically speaking, that is. I do see quite a mini door, including one that appears to just come out of nowhere. What, oh, what is this? Perhaps it's just something that didn't quite get fully flushed out yet. But I do see our names plastered in neon all about. I am rather flattered, in fact. Though I don't necessarily consider myself a headliner. But I suppose they needed to have something in place. I do believe I noticed the clock tower. As many of you might know it as being the Heaven Embassy. No entrances are visible. Sadly, it appears this perhaps is the extent of this area. While unfortunate, I do at the very least appreciate their efforts. Oh, Channel 666 News Broadcasting. Perhaps I can finally take a look about, since this is where Miss Charlie was broadcasting her big interview from, where I caught her, well, where she caught my attention. I can't tell if they're recording or not. They are. Top of the hour, this is the Radio Demon Alastor broadcasting from Channel 666 headquarters. Whilst I do despise this modern television technology, I'm here to broadcast a message for all of you loathsome sinners in the pits of hell. Reconstruction on the Has-Been Hotel is nearly finished. More rooms will be available than ever before. With proper backing from our most esteemed Lord of Hell, King Lucifer himself. Hard-won efforts from all ensured that this day could come. So do stop by if you feel like attempting the path of redemption. Bear in mind, however, that all who try to cause trouble here within my little pet project, or for Miss Charlie herself, I will tear your souls apart and broadcast your screams to every other misbegotten wretch that dares to oppose me. That's all for now, loathsome sinners. We'll be seeing you soon. Well, I had all the fun I could have there. Still uncertain as to what these fly sticks are. Perhaps that's something more available to those who have a proper setup. Hmm. I have been curious about this portal. Perhaps it takes us somewhere familiar. Oh, perhaps not. It's loading a new world. If we had been here yesterday, this wouldn't be happening. Well, we don't have much longer left I can explore about at the moment. Business is calling and all that. Let's take a quick look around while we have the opportunity. This does seem rather familiar, and yet not familiar at all. Ah, Miss Charlie's room. Quite a few cracks in the walls. Perhaps she has more violent outbursts than even I give her credit. And what about over here? Why, it's my room. How delightful. Unfortunately, no access. Shame, I must have left my key somewhere. Looks like we won't be getting the broadcasting towers up today. No means by which to knock on Miss Charlie's door, either. Where goes their pretty hell? Well, let's take a look around before we go exploring anywhere unusual. Quite the expansive hallways, but one would expect nothing less of a prim and proper hotel suite. Ah, yes, the balcony overlooking the foyer. One would think that this place was built with my motif in mind, given all the imagery. Doesn't appear to be much that we can get ourselves involved in. Before we go through the black abyss, let us take a look to see if the elevators are in working order. Appears not. Well then, let us take our chances here. Oh, it appears to be someone's private screening room. What a delightful concept. Perhaps the creator. Well, this was quite an intriguing diversion. Perhaps we have time to check out one or two, well, at least one more locale, before we have to part ways. Don't miss to be too prideful and egotistic here, now do we? I've not been to Demonopolis in quite some time. This should be the perfect locale. Right in the heart of the Pride Ring, in fact. Well, now, things don't appear to have changed all that much since the last I was here. But I don't believe I recall this charming little means of conveyance. A little makeshift carnival-themed comedy club. Oh, now, you can't flatter me that easily. Ah, matrimonial disputes. Ah, stylish occult. I am familiar with the brand, though I've never stepped in. Wacky tobacco shop. I do say, is that the likes of our Lord Lucifer? Well now, he has quite the intriguing excursions. Whilst I would never approve of graffiti, that is quite the dedicated style. Oh, now, jealousy will get no one anywhere. But it's nice to know they care. Ah, yes, Ms. Velvet's personal shop. Appears we have quite the pile-up. I suppose we can investigate the other direction. I don't believe there's any means of getting in. Even if there were, I doubt I'd be welcome. After all, the three V's and I don't exactly have an amicable relationship. Ah, Pride FM, they wouldn't be where they are today if not for me. And that's not mere conjecture. After all, if I hadn't brought in my radio technology when I came to this realm, Pride FM wouldn't exist at all. Glad to see there's still someone out there giving Fox what for. Downtown Imp City, we may as well have a peek. Ah, the devil's flask, I've not been here in months. Still hard at work behind the bar, I see, my good man. No, not today, I'm merely passing through. Perhaps that's the wrong exit. Oh, now I know for a fact there is a means of exiting. Oh, that would be why. I got myself turned around. Well, one can't enjoy the most in life if they aren't willing to laugh at themselves. For a dive, it is rather spacious. There is so much of this sort of thing in the Pride Ring, you would think it was a detachment from lust. But I see they are hard at work. All except for those ones. I wouldn't call anything they do work. But that's just my personal opinion. I'll cheer up, my good man. You're you're not so down on your luck that you can't pick yourself up by your bootstraps and get right back into things. Oh, a stairwell. I wonder just what heights can be reached. I see we have some exorcists lurking about. I'll have to be on my toes. They would like little more than to catch me off guard. As one of the most powerful overlords in hell, I would be remiss to get myself taken out of the proverbial equation. Nice to know they're maintaining an amicable relationship with the franchise as a whole. Radio hacks. Yes, yes, Vox. But of course, you're all hat, no cattle. Perhaps we'll take a look in the cinema. Such locales have rarely changed very much in decades. Let us see if anything is actually showing. Well, perhaps not at the moment. Well, my dear loathsome sinners, that appears to be the most that we're going to get out of this video. I do appreciate you tagging along as I have a walkabout. If you enjoyed this picture, please be sure to click that like button. But of course, if you didn't, you are more than welcome to click upon the dislike button. If you dare. That said, please be sure to leave your comments down below. And to click the name above the video description to see what other endeavors there have been over the past few years. I realize we haven't made anything new in quite some time, not since our involvement with the fan redub project for the pilot. But we are steadily trying to figure things out and get some things worked upon. I assure you that is fact. There's just been quite a bit of unfortunate circumstances, especially within the last few months, that have delayed production. There may be more still to come that does the same, but we will be trying our best to pitter along and produce something of worthwhile quality and content. Please be sure to leave any critique you have, which may assist us in improving upon the work which we do here on the Moonshadow Mystery Channel. On behalf of our channel owner, remember, don't go changing for anyone but yourselves. We hope you have a great rest of your day, a great rest of your week, and a great weekend ahead, depending upon when you get around to seeing today's broadcast. We hope to see you right back here, same Moonshadow time, same Mystery Channel. But until then, we'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. See you soon.